Okay guys, so the last part that we're going to work on is going to be for the code. So I'm going to go onto control and I'm going to add two things. I'm going to add a when green flag is clicked, and I'm also going to add a when I receive. So when green flag is clicked, we just want to make sure that the background starts at the correct one. So I'm going to add a switch backdrop to, and I'm going to change this to score 0 since I know this is where I'm going to start. For the when I receive, I want to make sure that this is when my game actually starts. So again, if you guys have only the intro screen, you're going to use the play game. If you guys are using the character select, you guys are going to use the start game. So since I have the character select, I'm going to add the start game. And then I'm also going to add this block here. So when I go ahead and start my game, I'm going to start on my backdrop for my level 1, essentially. So score 0. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go onto control and we're going to add a forever because we wanted to constantly check for something. We're going to add an if then inside of the forever, and we're going to go into operators and add an equal sign. We're going to go into variables and use our score because again, this is what's keeping track for us. And now we're going to go into looks and then add a switch backdrop to. So if my score is equal to blank, then switch backdrop to this. So this is why it's really nice to kind of organize it this way. So now I know, okay, so my second backdrop that I want to do is score 20, which means that this 50 should be a 20. So now, if my score is equal to 20, then switch the backdrop to the score 20. And I want to do this to every single one of the backdrops that I've done. So I'm just going to duplicate this if then again, add it in the bottom. I'm going to switch it to my next one, which is score 30, and I know to change this to a 30. So as you can see, that's why it's very nice to kind of label stuff, because when you're organized, it just makes it a little bit faster and simpler to actually figure things out than trying to remember stuff off the top of your head. I'm going to make this 35. So once you're done, it's always nice to test it out. I'm just going to go ahead and just lower my volume so that we can just focus on the background switching. So I'm going to click on the green flag, click on play, select. So I start on the correct one. So let's see what happens once I reach that level. So I have to destroy 20 to get to my first background change. And I reached 20, so that's awesome, it's working. My next one is going to be at 30. Okay, so that's working. And now if I lose and start my game over, I still start with my first backdrop, so that's awesome. Okay guys, so with this you're going to be done with week 4 core, and then you can go ahead and move on to the deep dive lesson.